You're such an asshole.
Continuing to bang out work at assholeconsulting.com. TJ writes, "Hey Cappy, I thought it'd be cool to have you do a video of the Clarey test on a man named Dick Proenneke." And he provides his Wikipedia entry here. I've written about him myself here. It's tjmartinell, 2 L's at the end, .com/Dick-Proenneke, spelled Proenneke. You know, just search TJ Martinell and Dick Proenneke, and you'll find this guy's site. Maybe I'll put the link down below. You guys know I forget to do that. And consider him to be the epitome of a man who lived life on his own terms and not according to conventional wisdom. How much would that cost TJ? Well, because I know TJ personally. Normally, Clarey test costs about $25. But I gave him the special Friends of Cappy discount of 5 cents for him. It was only $24.95. See the amount of cronyism and nepotism that goes on in my... All right, so where'd he go? Oh, wait. Come on. No, that's not it. There it is. Richard Proenneke. Richard Louis Dick Proenneke, born 1916 to 2003, was educated naturalist, self-educated, who lived alone for nearly 30 years in the mountains of Alaska in a log cabin he had constructed by hand near the shore of Twin Lakes. Proenneke hunted, fished, raised, and gathered his own food, and also had supplies flown in occasionally. He documented his activities in journals and on film, and also recorded valuable meteorological and natural data. The journals and film were later used by others to write books and produce documentaries about his time in the wilderness life. Proenneke's father, William Christian Proenneke, served in World War I and later made his living as a well driller. Okay, so not a ton of money there. His mother, Laura, was a homemaker back when women actually raised the kids they had. I added that part. Parents married in late 1909 or 1910. He had 3 daughters and 3 sons. He was born in Iowa. He enlisted in the Navy the day after the attack in Pearl Harbor and served as a carpenter. Spent 2 years in Pearl Harbor. All right, so he didn't come from money. He joined the Navy. Did he study anything? And he just kept working. Heavy equipment operator, Navy, diesel mechanic. Oh, he went to school to become a diesel mechanic. All right, so he didn't major in stupid shit either. Moved to Alaska in the 1950s. Repairman at the naval station. Placed in Twin Lakes before he made arrangements. Okay, so that's where he lived. Interesting. This guy's kind of an interesting guy. Proenneke's cabin is handmade, is notable for its remarkable craftsmanship due to his skill as a carpenter and woodworker, and because of the films he made of the complete construction procedure. Most of the structure and the finishings are made from materials in and about the site, from the gravel taken from the lake bed to create the cabin's base to the trees he selected, cut down, and then hand cut with interlocking joints to create the walls and roof rafter framing. The windows openings were planned and cut to suit. The fireplace and flue were made from stones he dug up around the site and meticulously mortared in place to create the chimney and hearth. He used metal containers for food storage. Yeah, okay, so death and legacy, 82, returned to civilization and lived the remainder of his life with his brother Raymond Jake Proenneke in Hemet, California. Died in 2003 at the age of 86. He left his cabin to the National Park Service. Blah, blah, blah. All right. I think this guy gets a perfect score of 0. 0 is the best score you can get. He wasn't raised from wealth. He didn't major in stupid shit. He went to diesel school. He served in the Navy and was a mechanic, and then he lived on his own, living off the land. In other words, this guy contributed to society, or at least didn't take from it. All right? So he's not a parent. This guy's just a very interesting fellow. And then how did he die? Well, he worked until he was 82. And then retired with his brother in California for 4 years. Oh, that's perfect. The guy gets a perfect score. So notice the interesting thing here. The scum of the earth score the worst score possible for on the Clarey test. Nancy Pelosi, Barack Obama, George Bush. All these elitist trust fund baby, Mark Dayton, pieces of shit. All right? And then we get some really cool, interesting characters that you would love to have a beer with who scores 0. All right? Richard Proenneke, the most recent one, but then Al Capone, Lucky Luciano, Rex Tillerson, current Secretary of State. Just some really interesting guys. We just did one, Rick Scott, Governor of California. He got a quarter point because he majored in business long ago. But just an interesting fellow, started all these businesses. And then his likely rival in the gubernatorial race in Florida, John Morgan. So it's a good test. I should set up a club called the Zeros, you know, the Zero Clarey testers or whatever. Because if you got a quarter point or zero score on the Clarey test, you got to be a really interesting motherfucker. Right? Maybe you kill a lot of people because you're a gangster, but still much more interesting than having fucking tea with Nancy Pelosi. Anyway, you guys want me to, we can do the Clarey test not just on real people. We've done it on Indiana Jones and Captain Kirk. You can go to Asshole Consulting and send me your request. But if you have questions in general, go to assholeconsulting.com. America's older brother, that would be me. The Dark Knight of Advice columns will give you my 2 cents, but I'll charge you $100 an hour for it. But don't worry, I never charge that much because it never takes more than 15 minutes to solve your problems. And then if you need to contact me personally for whatever reason, and you don't have time to fill out the form, download the Praxi app, and you can get in contact with me directly with because it's like Face Check, but the app is Praxi. It's like charging for Face Chat. You pay to talk to me. And it's actually cheaper than it would be if we did it with Skype because I really want to test out this Praxi app. It's really fucking cool. So that's all we got. We'll catch you kids later. Toodles.